Coming to you live from Missioners of Fantasy and Sci-Fi. This is the Super Metroid Link to Past Combo 1v1 tournament where everyone is 1v1 with bro. My name is Angels. Joining me today is Sinas. How you doing?
It's still early for me. Getting the coffee going. How are you doing?
Wait, my sound coming from wrong direction. Hold on. There we go. It should now be my headphone instead of my second monitor. But yeah, we have a very nice lineup here with Mesyr versus Robin.
It looks like our runners are just getting started. And this is the normal logic combo randomizer. And looking like both our runners going to head directly to Link to the Past first. Very common play. There's only one check in logic. Looks like we've got two regular crystals at Eastern and Desert, along with a green pendant at Hera.
Green
Rob?
Pendant Hera is always a little bit suspicious.
Green pendant anything is always suspicious.
There are a few places which are less suspicious, but I never like seeing Green Pendant Hera.
I don't mind it so much. It's, one of the dungeons with fewer items associated with it, and it is a pretty quick dungeon overall, especially if you know the Hera pot clip. And looking like Robin setting up a hula hand immediately.
It is a nice choice. When it comes to Link to Past only, then you can just go to Kakariko and just probably get bombs for Kakariko. However, when it comes to SMZ3, that is not always possible. So setting up hula hands so you can get your own bombs, always a good plan.
And Mesyr lucking out a little bit there, picking up a bottle from Uncle. That's going to route nicely. Also getting a 4-bomb drop from the tree pool immediately.
Yeah, very nice tier 1 tree pool, absolutely. And yeah, we are going to see Robin taking those rupees, buying bombs, and then going off to Eastern and check the hustle. Let's see how long he wants to take that route, if he's going to head into Eastern Palace.
And it's looking like Mesyr is going to take the north route into Kakariko here. Meanwhile, Robin is resetting, checking out the house item. We'll see if they decide to check out Tahasrala's closet first. Oh, we're going directly for the South Shore play.
That is a little bit of an interesting one. Normally we see people taking the Eastern together with that bomb purchase. This tells me that he might be looking into either early Mini-Moldome or heading off to the desert.
And looking like Mesyr finding 20 rupee drops on a different tree pool there. That's good information. Especially since they've decided not to hula hand.
Having 20 rupees on tree pools, sign me up every day.
Mesyr getting some lumberjack information. Just look like super missiles. Yeah, so the South Shore play, 300 rupees will certainly change how you view that. If you want to wrap Zora in with a fake flipper. But I usually like to try and hold out for Pegasus boots or the Moon Pearl or flippers themselves to try and wrap in that waterfall check with everything else. But you never know.
Yeah, you have to leave some stuff behind, and they are very far away, so unless there was going to be anything on Zora Ledge, you might not get back to that location. Nice little fight. They dropped there for Robin, Gates, for Zora.
Taking care of those moldworms handily, and getting some bombs refunded by the chest. Does get Quake from the Thief themselves, but otherwise not a whole lot of love to be had there in the mini Moldworm Cave. And so far, just ammo on Mesyr's side heading into Kakariko.
Very nice of him to getting both of those. A total of 160 rupees from Triple makes so that he's gonna have no problem with doing polymers, and otherwise he would have to go back into Blind Satyr just to find those rupees.
And Robin getting through the rest of the South Shore nicely with only 1.5 hearts in green mail. Those crabs can definitely wreck you. They do a deceptive amount of damage early on at 2 hearts apiece.
Yeah, absolutely. But it looks like we're not gonna see any fake clipping yet, or hobo, as someone pointed out in the chat. So going to Sanctuary tells me that Robin is gonna most likely head to CAC.
And Mesyr picking up the shovel, that is also going to route very, very nicely. So, especially since they're doing Kakariko north to south here. Robin getting a couple of rage slaps on that ice cave chest. And finding some bombs there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Too little, too late.
Not gonna take Bush Crab, but he's fine right now. Actually, we have our first sword from the polymers.
Yep. Second uncle twice removed. Handing out a sword for 100 rupees.
Yeah, and there we have our first. There we have some PBs, so that is really nice as well. So Morphball, we can start doing stuff in Metroid.
Oh, I hope Mesyr remembers to go check Bottle Vendor, or Sick Kid here immediately afterwards.
Yeah,
very good.
In the tavern, though.
And more power bombs, that is only going to help them.
Who decided to give bombs to Sick Kid?
And Mesyr gonna pick up a refill here at the shop at the south of Kakariko on their way out.
Yeah.
So Sword and 4 Hearts starts to make front and back of Escape a little bit tempting. We'll see what Mesyr decides to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sprinkle a little lamp on there, and we are golden basically for doing it.
And Mesyr gonna scout those power bombs at race game and decide to leave those behind. Feeling pretty confident at 10 power bombs. I certainly think 15 is optimal for most Brinstar checks, but 10 is definitely doable.
There's a lot of places where you can get some power bomb, already guaranteed power bomb.
Oh my!
Ooh, we are gonna head to an early Metroid today, probably.
Somebody buried a morph ball out back.
Did it get buried, or did it crash down and that way got underneath the...
Well, maybe it just got stuck and then couldn't stop rolling and buried itself in the dirt.
I can see that happen.
Yeah, what is the traction on a morph ball anyway? Is it frictionless? Who knows?
Well, considering that there are some ledges, I would say doesn't have any friction.
Now, Robin has not checked Uncle yet, and so does not have the bottle that Mesyr did going through Kakariko, which is going to change their power bomb count, which may lead Robin to actually spend some time at Race Game picking up that extra power bomb set.
I wouldn't be too surprised by it. I can also see just Robin just doing a blind race game. When it comes to Link to the Past, you might want to scout it out beforehand, but with SMZ3, with how many extra good stuff you can get, doing it blind is also a nice one.
I find that because there is a lot more ammo in SMZ3, that in my personal experience, it feels like blind checking Race Game pays off a little bit less than standard Link to the Past randomizer, but, you know, that's everybody's experience kind of colors their decisions about it.
Hey, I'm not that good at SMZ3, so I take a missile pack if I ever see one.
And Mesyr, Trollworm's gonna troll.
There we go.
And looking like Robin's gonna pick up their Morph Ball here.
And considering Robin has already down South, he might just go into Metroid immediately.
That would be pretty aggressive, but I'm not sure if they've picked up any super packs yet. I know we've seen missiles and at least 10 power bombs, but if they haven't seen supers yet, they may be waiting for that. But looking like they're going to take the portal here. And this is a play that I actually like, because there's a missile pack location that was right across from them when they came out, which Mesyr is going to check here. And you never know when that's going to have like a speed booster or something in it. Whereas if you reset to the ship directly, sometimes you'll miss out on that. And so Mesyr are going to have a second E-Tank up on Robin at this point.
Yeah, we do see that they have a total of 10 supers, which in the early game is good enough to get a lot.
And that second E-Tank could play something of a role. There are several large side hoppers in Brinstar that do, I believe, 80 energy of damage on Power Suit. And so that could play a role in how they navigate the beginning part of the SMZ here. And Mesyr gonna go ahead and get the Bomb Chorizo check out of the way before they find Morph Bombs, just to be sure. And so they definitely won't have to fight Bomb Chorizo.
Which is nice. Interesting that Robin doesn't sec the super PBs there by the vanilla Morph Bomb.
Mesyr gonna opt to refill the ship here, and if they go up to Gauntlet, which is what I would imagine they're doing since they took the time to save here, going to be a little bit on the safe side. I think they definitely had enough power bombs to go and do Gauntlet directly, but you know, one misstep in Gauntlet and Acid is going to chew through your health really quickly, even with 2 E-Tanks.
Yeah, absolutely. While we're talking here, Robin did find the Ice Beam, so not going to have any problem over in Trino later.
And Robin gonna have to be careful here on their way out, because you are definitely the oh, never mind, gets bailed out by an E-Tank.
Billy Mays from coming through.
Yep, because that first boulder right there does 40 damage, and without that E-Tank, Robin either would have had to wait around a little bit for all of those boulders, or they actually can be destroyed by a super missile. Mesyr taking their time. Spent about 150 energy getting through the gauntlet here, and just getting through the last part. Gonna do nicely.
Yeah. So what is our prize for being between the gauntlet today?
Super missiles. Could be worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of red rupees though in this game so far.
Oh no, Robin gonna have to spend an extra power bomb there, but gets rewarded with the hammer for this routing.
Very nice find. It's probably gonna take a while before Mesyr actually gets to it.
And Robin takes care of those side hoppers, no problem. Gonna check Green Hill Zone here and work their way up. Kind of a reverse Brinstar loop, picks up a reserve tank there. Mesyr going to heal off of the bug nests here.
Why not? It is a nice way to farm up health.
Robin,
nice little... continue.
Robin gonna pick up a 4th power bomb pack here, and that's pretty comfy for the rest of the entire seed.
Yeah. Setting up stun this poor skip. And the early super missiles on Mesyr's side as well.
Yep, and Mesyr's Mock Ball unfortunately not paying dividends just yet in the way of progression, but Robin continuing to pick up lots of good progression items in the back half of Pink Brinstar here, and Blue. Picks up a Fire Rod at Spore Spawn.
Yeah, there's been some really good items so far his way. We're going to see if Mesyr decides to, when he goes to Green Soul, so if he goes up and do that way to get to Retro Brinstar.
And Robin gonna pop into Wave Gate Room here. Has about 5 tries to get this Wave Gate skip. My understanding of this trick is essentially what you're doing is trying to spawn a super missile on the other side of that gate before it loads, and gets it on the 2nd try. Meanwhile, Mesyr picks up the flippers.
Yeah, try and use the roof here as a way to boost through this room even quicker. Nice trap.
Yeah, it now makes sense why Mesyr stopped to refill their health. They definitely wanted to take advantage of all those E-tanks and those damage boosting strategies, but I really might have prioritized killing those fleas a little bit quicker. They definitely drained a lot of additional health on top of the damage boosts.
Yeah, and Robin picking up even more stuff, finding the spacer for himself.
And Mesyr having a little bit of trouble, but gets this tricky mock ball. This one's different from most of the other ones, because you have to press release and repress your jump button in order to make it within the confines of that room, but a very satisfying one to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our runners are looking like they're about to high-five in Pink Brinstar here.
Yeah, there we go. The high five has been done.
And since we're looking at a lot of repeated checks that we've already seen here. I want to take a moment to plug our tournament sponsor, Rank1.global. It is a social media site built for gamers. You can find lots of our players' profiles on Rank 1 Gaming and a specific page for the SMZ3 tournament. Rank 1 was nice enough to put up some prize money for the winners of this tournament. I believe the top 4 spots. So thank you, Rank 1 Gaming.
Yeah, thanks so much for that.
And Robin getting a little tripped up on those fleas. Have to aim straight up if you want to kill them with a missile there. And unfortunately, taking a lot of damage and draining their reserves. Gonna see those flippers and definitely gonna be on the safe side and take a save here. I don't blame them for that at all.
Yeah.
There we go. And I think Robin now realizing the strategy that they need to take to get rid of those fleas as they go.
So just to talk a little bit about where we are when it comes to these two ones. Both of these players lost their first game in the group, so they arrive now playing in an elimination game. So whoever wins this is gonna go up against Mesyr for making it to the play.
Robin going to set up their mock ball into Brinstar Reserve here. Nicely done. And both runners with 25 power bombs, an incredibly large number, are not going to need to farm at all to get through the rest of Brinstar. Very generous seed so far.
It really has been. So is Mesyr going downwards or upwards?
Well, you definitely want to check out Green Hill Zone, the item in the pipe here, before you head to Blue Brinstar. I really only see runners potentially moving, continuing on to Red Bryn if they have some way to check X-ray, or if they have some sort of can fly or expedited jumping movement to make climbing Red Tower a little bit easier. They do have the Ice Beam, which facilitates movement up to the top, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. We are probably gonna see for Robin if he chooses to stay in Super Metroid after doing the back route here, go down Red Tower potentially to Red Business.
And Robin gonna scout the back of Gauntlet here. Meanwhile, Mesyr getting their hammer, and we've pretty well evened out on most of the items. Although Robin potentially stands to save a little bit of time here if they opt to skip the super missiles at the back of Gauntlet.
Yeah. With the items Robin have found here, he did have good enough rupees to be able to do Sora before going here in here, so that is probably what he's gonna do when he comes back. He then also has the castle and Eastern Palace as well, so quite a lot of stuff he can do into Pass if he chooses to head over there.
And I'm not sure, but I think Mesyr skipped Billy Mays and a lot of the other checks in Blue Bryn there. maybe
not-
realizing their mistake, kind of heading back in that direction now.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That elevator ride is a little bit painful to have to go not one extra time, but two. And so Robin has a chance to break away a little bit here and start thinking about their next play, which I'm looking at their items and thinking heading down Red Tower towards Creed and High Jump Boots location and making their way up to Death Mountain and unlocking Old Man.
Yeah. So Robin is gonna fill up on his ammo here. So might choose to stay in Super Metroid for
And I missed whether Robin took a save there at the ship or not. It is kind of slow, but having that knowledge of what is at the back of Gauntlet, it might have been potentially wise to set up a save scum there.
It would be a really good one to do that. Will take longer to navigate back, so doing little soft resets is a good plan.
Youthful Porpoise seems to think that Robin did take a save there, so glad to hear that. And certainly the way that Robin is aggressively going through the gauntlet here also kind of suggests that they're planning on taking a reset. Yep. And Mesyr, I think, makes kind of a good heads-up play here, and rather than going back up to the ship and back down Red Tower, is going to accept their fate, having messed up their Blueprint Star routing just a little bit, and going to say, you know what, since I'm down here already, and I have a really good ammo count, let's just keep on moving.
Yeah. Yeah, that save scum from Robin did save a lot of time. But yeah, time for Red Tower, so they are gonna... They're probably gonna both head up to Business Center pretty soon. For Mesyr, we know that is a fact, but Robin could opt to doing another save scum if there's nothing down here.
And Mesyr gonna orphan these 3 items that Robin is about to check. This is a potential place that Robin could find a lead. And speak of, there it is. So we're about a glove away from Dark World access with that Moon Pearl find.
Very nice find indeed. Just another reserve tank at Spacer, so not really what Mesyr wants to find at the moment.
Nice damage boost by Robin there.
Yeah.
Oh my, a second progression item, potentially, in the Cane of Samaria here. That is going to really hurt Mesyr if they spend a lot of time doing other checks without getting up to Red Tower quickly.
Yeah, this might be really punishing for Mesyr. Yeah, with those items, the effective war items here, Robin just decides to continue down to Northfair Business Center. He's going to be checking the things that Mesyr is currently doing in a few minutes.
So we would also need the Titan's mitts to get into Turtle Rock currently in order to lift that rock before you hammer the pegs. So still at least two or three items away from Turtle Rock, but always exciting to start seeing some potential early T-Rock stuff. And Mesyr almost getting the Kraid quick kill. Unfortunately, just one regular whistle short.
A little bit unlucky. So Nipple PC DLC was purchased.
And so Mesyr are going to take a boss lead here, but Robin definitely looking to have a strong item lead so far.
We do also need to find that mirror and hook shot before we can get into TR.
And there's our first glove.
That is gonna be the awkward access for Robin once he defeats Kraid.
Yep. And I think you gotta take that hammer, moon pearl, and glove combination and pretty much immediately check out Hype Cave.
Yeah, why not?
I think the best item Robin could potentially find here is a mirror. Having not done any fake flipper checks and picking up their flippers in Brinstar, a mirror would allow them to route in Pyramid and Quakefish, as well as Zora and Waterfall and all of that stuff very, very nicely.
It would be really nice routing possibility, yeah. Nice 300 there for your Zora purchase afterwards. Very nice fight here from Robin.
Yeah, getting a little panicky there. You know, getting 5 super shots off. But getting the Kraid quick kill, gonna make up a little bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, time to head into Death Mountain and see what we can find there then.
And with no lamp access, this is currently their only way to check Death Mountain in logic is via Brinstar and Norfair. But this is certainly one of the first rooms that you learn to do without a lamp. The save and quit location of Death Mountain is just way too valuable to pass up at this point.
Yeah. Oh, an unfortunate stun rock.
Oh
These
my.
dead rocks are not helping him.
Mesyr just barely getting through the dead rocks there. Oh, that would have been heartbreaking because then they would have had to... The fastest way to make up that time would have probably been to load from Sanctuary and walk back up.
Yeah, might have. Yeah, if he would have died there, he would have respawned where the old man is, so not too much of a time loss, but certainly you're not gonna feel good about it.
It's a point well taken, Yield, for a gamer, but this is in logic through Brinstar, and Mesyr not having checked Red Tower, you know, could be thinking, hey, maybe the Moon Pearl is up here, maybe this is the progression route I meant to take, and I think now realizing that they have to get back and do some other checks here before they move on.
Yeah. So Mesyr is gonna do back of escape. Because of Fire Rod, if he finds a small key back here, could very easily then check Dark Cross.
Yeah, and I think this is really unfortunate for Mesyr because they've still got Eastern Palace and a couple other Sphere Zero checks that they can do, and it may be a while before they get back to SM to check Red Tower, and that's just going to give Robin an even bigger stretch of lead.
Yeah. I actually think the best item right now that Mesyr can find will be either Speed Booster or Grapple Beam, because that would point him in direction to Wreck Ship, which might signal him to go and check Red Tower while he's going.
And where are you going, Robin? Looking like Robin going to first take a peek at their map before probably heading into Dark World via Kakariko and Village of Outcasts.
Because of the Fire Rod he has, he might just decide to go into Skullwoods first. Skullwoods right now is a little bit tough, having only 5 hearts, green mail, fighter sword, but it's still in logic.
And that kind of depends on how comfortable you are in A Link to the Past, but I think that's a very reasonable play. The cane also makes the chest in the middle section of Skullwoods very easy to check as well. So I do kind of like that Skullwoods play if it's a crystal. If it's a pendant, I might put that off for a little while.
Yeah, certainly.
But definitely kind of the way the logic is pointing right now. But hard to say for sure. With only 2 items in Skullwoods, it's anyone's guess. Meanwhile, Mesyr's gonna pick up a book in the front of Escape.
And checking the map here, TR and the Safe Town being our last pendants with the 5-6 versus being Skullwoods and the Ice Palace. So quite an interesting assortment of where everything is.
And Mesyr looking like they're setting up an intentional death warp here. But getting a little out of hand.
Yeah, that green one is not nice.
Oh no!
Yeah, you don't want to get the chain guard over to the table because you're gonna have a hard time getting past him.
And I don't know if Mesyr picked up the map yet, but at this point, I might be gambling on Dark Cross if I hadn't found the map yet. Just to avoid traveling all the way down to the bottom. Robin gonna take a death in the Room of Requirement as well. Those Gibdos hurt.
Really do. Not gonna help him though, technically, because he's gonna have to go here either way.
Yep, there are alternative ways to route Skullwoods that avoid this room entirely. This chest is always going to be a key. It is called the Room of Requirement because if you come down here without a key, then one of your only potential ways back is through this room, through this locked door, which will always have a key. It wastes a little bit of time.
Yeah, and it's even more punishing to do it in the later Link to the Past because of that advanced logic you can have there.
And Robin appearing to take an intentional death here to refill some of their hearts for Skullwoods.
Yeah, he wants to set up a bomb jump to get to the big set, but only being on one heart, the bomb would have killed him.
And I know Robin picked up a big 20 in the room to the right, but I'm not sure if they picked up a second item in Skullwoods yet. And Robin has to be really careful here. Any hit that they take, and the enemy using the terrain to obfuscate is gonna make Robin approach that very safely. If you do die, you definitely want to do it in the dungeon so that you don't have to restart from the light world. Mesyr checking Old Man under the bridge. Gonna pick up a bottle. I believe that's a vanilla bottle location.
Yeah. So up to Sora we go.
And Robin, without the book here, is unfortunately going to miss an opportunity to check Ped for us. Maybe Mesyr will swing around before too long.
Yeah.
And Robin opting to check this chest first. This is a routing decision that I would try to optimize a little bit. You're going to have to kill Mothula no matter what, and the only thing you can do is save your time. You know you've picked up at least one item already. If you,
I would assume.
Yeah.
I would assume he's doing this because he's gonna do another death warp to make sure he gets.
I still think Robin's only looking at 3 or 4 hearts. Not too much of an improvement here.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk away.
Oh my.
He wants one more heart, okay?
Well, there are definitely hearts in the next room up. I think Robin is leaving Skullwoods until later.
Yeah.
Also realizing that they don't have a whole lot of magic either would be very tight getting through, and then you're looking at a fighter sword or hammer moth fight with only 5 hearts max. Too bad the bottles are not full.
Yeah, recent change in the latest update. But yeah, I saw that actually on Waterfall game.
Nothing on Zora Ledge. We do know that Ice Palace and Swamp are required dungeons, so it is pretty likely that the flippers are not going to lead to any actual progression here, but you never know until you check.
So King of all scammers, what do you have today for us? Alright, some packs. No thank you. But he's gonna take them, by the way. He just paid 500 for them.
Ice Rod is it's a total troll item. It can be literally anywhere except for on Trinex, so you can't read into Ice Rod really. Yes, in the rare instance that there is an item on Trinex, yes, it can play a role, but Turtle Rock being a pendant, man, you You don't ever want to put any faith in that ice rod.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's time for Robin to do Safe Town though. A very much easier boss fight if you're able to stay on the pattern. So understandable that he's going here. Plus there are tons of items in here. Ooh, I don't know if we actually wanted to see that item on Mesyr's side.
So yeah, Mesyr picks up the Various Suit and the Wave Beam, and the only way that this is good for Mesyr is if they route Red Tower into it somehow. But more than likely going to make a faulty assumption that their Moon Pearl could be in Norfair at this point. Gonna keep them away from that Moon Pearl and Kane for even longer now, I think.
Just imagine if you would find the morph bombs here in the Eastern Palace. That would give him Can Fly, which would put Bubba Mountain below.
Mesyr has the Ice Beam, and so with the Ice Beam you have access to Double Mount.
Oh, I thought that was only hard logic. My bad.
I actually, let's see. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but I'm fairly certain Ice Beam gets you both.
Right.
It's definitely not a hard logic trick, right? It's the kind of thing that the game teaches you with the Ice Beam, and so my suspicion is that it's almost certainly considered in logic on normal. And even if it weren't, you see that Various Suit, you know, how can you not start thinking about Norfair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ginception, I think you have the right of it here. Robin is definitely making the most of their checks, and some of it is luck, and some of it is good routing, right? So going top to bottom in Kakariko paid off for both of our runners, and you know, and going down Red Tower was definitely solid routing and has led them to be in a good place. And just continuing to capitalize on that is what's getting them to where they need to be. Although, not having done the Sphere Zero check at Sahasrahla, you know, Robin is potentially missing out on just looping in Norfair directly with their, you know, their crate checks and everything. So, still, you know, very good overall, and I think you have to at least go back to A Link to the Past and save the old man, but it's hard to say. We'll see if there's anything in Upper Norfair.
Yeah.
I get the feeling at Sphere Zero with Morph Ball there as well that Upper Norfair seems to have a decent probability of having something worth getting.
Yeah. And Mesyr not counting his... I thought Mesyr was in a completely different location first, my bad. I was seeing Stalfos and I was seeing Dark World. Somehow my brain connected that to Dark Cross.
Now, Thieves Town is a pendant dungeon here, and Robin is opting for a full dive, and so far not getting rewarded. I think I might have prioritized some of the other overworld checks first, and taking an unfortunate death. I think you just gotta bail on Thieves Town if you're Robin here.
Yeah. You can come back later if it would be something here. There's a lot of other stuff you can fix. It's...
Absolutely. And Mesyr looking like they're heading towards Agina and Desert with that book. Wondering if they missed the Moon Pearl before heading back into Super Metroid.
also have fire rods, so unless Desert would be bootlocked, he can just finish that crystal off immediately. And that was only 2 digs.
And there's Bombos, so I think Mesyr is almost certainly going to dive this immediately.
Yeah, Bombo's a really nice item indeed.
And Woody Harrelson having a second sword for Robin, going to upgrade to Master Sword.
That's nice.
Mesyr going to very quickly find out whether they are locked out of Desert via boots or not here.
If it is the key on the tours, we could potentially see Mesyr just go ahead and say, okay, I'm gonna steal a key, but that is a mirror, which is gonna lead Mesyr potentially over to Hera and the east of Mountain.
Gravity suit for Robin at Hype Cave.
That's pretty interesting that the gravity suit is there.
And I'm not sure that Mesyr checked the torch item. I still definitely would have checked it here. You know, Desert is a crystal, and you want to know, you know, can I beat this dungeon without the boots, right? So if it's just a key on the torch, you've picked up the mirror in Desert, that's one item. There's a reasonable chance that you could get by Desert by... oh, never mind. If you found a big key, but just not the way it worked out for them.
Yeah. Robin opting to go for Red Tower to get down to Meridia.
And I think you're exactly right. Mesyr is going to carry this mirror immediately over to East Death Mountain and try it, and just gonna keep following those breadcrumbs, hoping for a moon pearl.
But yeah, as I said, right now, his best option right now for would be finding either space jump, grapple, or speed booster, because that would lead him to Rexit, which could make him go down Red Tower.
And it's looking like Robin is going to pursue this gravity suit to Meridia.
We have to see how much he decides to do Meridia. A whole logic thing he could do is do the suitless jump further up. I don't remember exactly what that could be useful, but he could potentially do a lot here in Meridia.
Oh yeah, gravity jump. So the I think you're right here. I'm not sure that I like this play by Robin. You know, without the speed booster or a can fly, gravity jump is not one of those things that's in normal logic. And so I might have spent a little bit more time in Dark World trying to find another clue before I check Meridia. Meridia can quite often have almost no items. It can be quite deep in the logic. And so
Robin doesn't seem to know where Mama Turtle is.
Gonna find it here. Yeah, and Robin's only going to be able to peek this item at the top without any can fly.
Good enough for him then that it wasn't anything he needed.
But desperately needed that heart container to push them through some more of the dungeons and Link to the Past.
Yeah.
So far, Hera not appearing to be basement locked in any way.
And the only thing right now would be an item there.
There's the key. Definitely don't want to see that.
Ew.
Yep, and at this point, Robin is going to check this item, and that's pretty much all they have in logic in Super Metroid in Meridia right now. And having found, I mean, definitely going to pick up those supers, you wouldn't turn those down, but going to have spent some time that they didn't need to here.
Yeah. He's gonna go down here to check what is locked behind Speed Booster. But yeah, green pennant for me.
Now, Robin does have the Ice Beam and the Gravity Suit, so they can actually get quite far in Meridia, but it would be pure luck to find something progression-wise here, and it would be out of logic, and so I'm not sure how much you could really trust it. I think Mesyr has missed 3 Sphere 1 checks here behind the Morph Ball at Red Tower, which is hurting them, but Robin has missed some Sphere 0 checks in the way of Varia and Wave, and I think those are more likely to pay dividends. So, hard to say who has a lead at this point. They're both missing some items in their routing. It's just who will go back and check the things that they missed first.
Yeah. Well, nothing in Resident Sleeper Cave or Spiral, as people are calling it. Oh, we have some swag with the bug nets.
I think this might be the last set of checks Mesyr has in logic. We got the lamp, bombs, and the X-ray scope.
And another bottle as well, but yeah, two beams away from microwave.
Mesyr saving and quitting to Old Man Cave. I think we're going to see a more fair play here.
Yeah. Actually, when I'm thinking about it right now, Speed Booster would just make him go down to the other part of Upper Norfair. So are we gonna see some ice clipping from Robin here?
Well, I think with the save that Robin is making, they're probably going to check the sand pits first. And we will see if Robin knows how to snail clip as well.
Okay, so just a red ruby so far in Bubble Mountain. The cape. Did Robin check Bumper Cave when it was Bumper Legend was?
They definitely did not. They transitioned from Dark World immediately to Skullwoods, and so they don't have that information. So that cape probably going to be quite the distraction for Robin.
It might be, yeah. Same time though, if he would leave it behind, he could check out Bumper Ledge later on, and if it is a good item, he can easily go back and get it, but it would lose some time.
I'm not really sure where Mesyr's trying to get to here. I think they're going towards Crockemeyer. Oh, they're going this way, right? Yeah. Opting instead of using their ice beam to take the long way around.
Yeah.
But speaking of Crockemeyer, you know, you've got the wave beam and the various suit and North Ball. That's not one you can rule out based on what you've seen. And looks like Robin has at least heard of Snail Clip. They're getting ready to set it up.
Yeah. And look at that, another sword for Mesyr.
And that's not what you want to see on Mesyr's screen, because now you're wondering, hey, is Moon Pearl on the pyramid ledge? And even though it's extraordinarily unlikely, it's definitely something that could lure Mesyr away from doing the checks that they need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That is not a good find for you.
And Robin looking a little bit high on the snail positioning.
Okay, so there we have missile attack and E-tank speed booster, so nothing here either, so Mesyr is quickly running out of location.
And Robin gets the snail clip on the third try there. Unfortunately, not rewarded with anything in particular.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he might decide to just do the next one as well and hit the Dragon.
And Mesyr almost getting a nice damage boost there over to the reserve room.
Yeah.
But gonna have to end up using the ice beam anyway. Speaking of ice beam tricks, Robin going to be setting up an ice clip here. Gonna lure this Metroid over and freeze it and get on top of it. And all you have to do once you get on top of it is stand straight up and you're through. No speed booster required. Mesyr gets favorable positioning on the enemies there and is through. A little concerned about Robin's energy situation here.
Yeah, it starts to get a little bit low. Gonna have to be careful. And it doesn't have too many supers either.
I don't think they're gonna have any problem finishing, but just gonna be spending a lot more time farming. And Mesyr really only has Crocomire left to go here.
Oh,
Robin.
Yet another fetch quest item for us.
Yeah. Arguably the best fetch quest item you can get, though.
Yeah.
Because of its utility.
If only we knew how to do the fake, a trick like fake mushroom, man, it would give us so much.
Well, if that happened, I think it would take the powder out of your inventory if it worked kind of similarly. But
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to delete my powder, even if I could do a trick like that.
Then you have to find a mushroom to get the fake powder instead. Yeah, Crocomire time.
I'm kind of wondering if Robin knows how many supers they need for Dragon here. They've got more than enough power bombs. I don't know that I would spend quite this much time farming them. It is pretty quick off of these enemies, but...
Yeah. And now they're a little bit off synced as well, so it's just gonna go away. It has all the supers.
But I'm pretty sure it's 20 supers for Dragon. And then you can also kill the goo that she spits out with a power bomb and potentially get more ammo that way as well. So probably actually could have completed Dragon without farming at all, but I definitely would have stopped for at least, 15 to 20 supers just to make it go as quickly as possible and finish with missiles.
Does also have a nice amount of normal missiles as well. Shouldn't be any problem.
Yeah, our runners actually have identical ammo counts right now, which is kind of strange, and they're in two completely different areas of the game.
That is a little bit funny, yeah.
Oh, Mesyr, please don't leave Dragon behind. Mesyr, where are you going? Or Robin,
stop.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh no. You can gravity jump out of that room, Robin. You came all the way out here. You should do this.
Yeah, you're leaving one item behind, dude.
Well, even more than that, it's a boss. You gotta... I mean, yes, there's a door right here, but you could potentially never come back through it.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Robin has checked everything in Meridia except for Shaktul and Plasma, and those I could definitely see you not wanting to come back for, but you have to kill Dragon eventually. You might as well do it now.
Yeah, this is interesting. And yeah, right now Dragon is in logic with that portal, so it's not like he's like, I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna be out of logic. This is really just why he's decided to do this.
You are absolutely correct. And Mesyr is going to be opting to go through the back of Grapple.
Yeah, doesn't have speed booster to be able to get over to this place normally.
Yeah, still had the morph bombs, but I guess it's really 6 of one, half dozen of another.
Yeah.
Robin taking a beat, trying to figure out what to do next.
He's gonna opt for the castle.
necessarily going to get blocked here, but may be able to at least view the item. Just a piece of heart. Thank goodness, Mesyr says I don't have to do those silly bomb jumps again.
Yeah.
So Mesyr's gonna find their book here in the front of Escape. Or sorry, Robin is going to find the book here in Escape. Man, more coffee, please.
Yeah, go and get the coffee. Yeah, gonna move out from this place now. Please, Mesyr, go to the tower.
Yeah, I think if you're Mesyr, that's almost all you have left.
Yeah.
Has this one item.
Yeah, does have gravity suit or anything like that, so not be able to go to Golden Tree, so yeah, it's gonna have to be the tower next. So by doing a process of elimination, Robin should know now that there is just a small key in Dark Cross.
Mesyr smartly is going to check beam location.
Yeah, could also check the item in the wall later on as well. Robin's gonna death warp to check Dark Cross.
There it is. The Titans meant for Mesyr. Man, oh, Mesyr, I hope you realize that that is very out of logic and that you need to go check some other stuff first.
Interesting enough, that does not unlock anything for him right now.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't. It's all Dark Lord stuff.
At least he has that going for him. So it's a very high possibility that Speed Booster is in pod at the moment.
I suppose it could also be off of the green pendant. It could be, it could be at the end of Thieves Town. It could be on Mothula, maybe. I still don't know whether Robin found a second item in Skullwoods or not.
I don't think he did. Because Robin did had a lot of keys when it was his numbers. Yeah, small key in Dark Cross.
I think Mesyr is gonna go do Super Bunny Cave here, which is a really neat trick and everything, but out of logic and not gonna save them. They need to get to Red Tower. Also, maybe Ether? Oh, and they're doing the basement. All things we very much do not want from Mesyr at this point.
Mesyr missing even setting up the little coffee break. That is correct, Forrest. It would give him access to flagship. Robin not happy with finding Ballon at Hobo. So Mesyr is gonna go ahead and go and turn in the green pennant.
And this is unfortunately pretty unlikely to be anything at this point.
Yeah.
But Mesyr may be thinking it's the Moon Pearl on Sash Dream, but it is unfortunately not.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised neither player stopped to chuck a bottle into the wishing well.
Yeah, it will give them green goo, so yeah, a little bit surprised by that.
Mesyr resetting to the ship may finally be doing the check that we need them to do. With bombs, they're probably... Nope, not gonna bomb jump up to Criteria Power Bombs. Gonna go straight towards probably the moat item and then down to Red Tower.
Yeah, probably. Robin also being scammed, and that is a hook shot.
Oh man. Still though, not really anything that leads Mesyr away from where they need to go.
Yeah, Mesyr finally going where he needs to go.
Yep. And looking like Robin heading for Desert here, maybe? And at this point, Robin has been pretty idle in terms of progression for almost 30 minutes, and has really left the door open for Mesyr to catch up here. I don't know why Mesyr decided to do this door first, but we'll likely get both of them if they're planning to go back to the ship. But
Yeah.
hopefully they didn't miss the Moon Pearl again.
Or the bomb to Gina from Robin as well. Like this location.
And Mesyr gonna last location this Moon Pearl. That is... There's gonna be some rage.
Well, he's not gonna drop a power bomb as a rage at least, so that's something.
I don't know that this seed is trolling super hard. You know, I think a Moon Pearl on Green Pendant would have been a pretty big troll, but it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. I mean, Mesyr missed the Blue Brain stuff and accidentally went up the elevator, and it kind of just messed up their routing for the entire rest of the seed and force them to put off Red Tower, and it seemed like a good idea at the time, and it was from a heads-up perspective, but it just, you know, sometimes you get randoed.
Yeah. So Robin now picking up the mirror. It could tend to force me into the Swamp Palace, which it is definitely be too bad. There is a plus 5. We're not able to finish it if it chooses to go that direction.
Yeah. You know, you do bring up a good point, though. You know, you combine the progression item sets of both these runners, and you do get Swamp as a possible play.
Yeah. It should at least be a play from Mesyr's side. Especially since he might be going into a hype game first. It would be really easy to just go into Swamp Palace, and then after that, going into Stumpy, secking K45 doing digging game, and then potentially Smith Chain.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's at this point, it's kind of a runner's preference type kind of thing, right? I mean, a lot of times you do really want to get your dungeons done as quickly as possible, and you know, you see Flippers, Mirror, Moon Pearl, Glove, Hammer, and yeah, that's definitely all the ingredients for a Swamp Palace play, and I think it's a good call, but you've got so many other checks that it could be compared to that, and Mesyr's now going to pick up a gravity suit and wonder if that's worth anything.
It could be. If he after Swamp decides to go to Ice Palace, it would be really easy of him to just enter Meridia at that point off.
Yeah, I think you gotta stay away from Ice Palace if you're Mesyr at this point, though, because your mitts are still out of logic here. Probably want to... I mean, it's much a higher likelihood that Ice Palace has nothing because it's deeper in the logic. And if you can go mode Ice Palace, especially if you know the Icebreaker trick, you know, you could really save a lot of time if you wait on Ice Palace and if you're patient with the seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think if you're Mesyr and you know that you gotta have Speed Booster coming up soon, that you wait on Wreck Ship as well. You don't want to potentially orphan an item there if you know that Speed Booster's coming up somewhere in the logic.
Yeah. Robin's taking up on the green of the red goose. And a bit of bombs as it looks like as well.
Summer, I would say that Mesyr certainly has a more clear path to victory at this point.
Yeah. I don't like using the term ahead though when it comes to randomizers because of everything could happen. So
Yeah.
I would more likely say advantage.
Certainly. Yeah, Robin's gotta get back to Super Metroid and find their hookshot, and they've got a lot of stuff that they don't know that is currently in logic, and just really gotta get something done here. Gotta go to Skull Woods and get that done, or you know, you got all this stuff on your plate, and yeah, it kind of stinks with your current heart count and everything, but to spend a lot of time idle here.
Yeah.
And Mesyr opting for a full clear with left side of swamp here. With the hookshot, it's usually better to do the boss and the back of swamp first. You never know, you might get lucky and be able to skip the items on left side. Although I do think Mesyr has picked up at least the compass at this point, if not both the compass and the map.
Yeah, it totally makes sense what you're saying. But yeah, having found the compass, he's gonna go ahead and take the left side.
I mean, just the worst thing that can happen to Mesyr here is that, you know, yeah, maybe they find some stuff on the left side that seems like a good play, but if the big key is on Argus or somewhere else in the back, then you have to retrace your steps back here anyway, and that feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Robin's gonna take another crack at Skull Woods in the meantime, gonna be picking up as many hearts and magic doers as they can.
So just try to get grabbed by the dead hand so that he can reset this room, especially now that he's down to 2 hearts.
Robin taking another death. Gonna be able to refill on some more magic here.
Yeah, so more magic or some more hearts as well.
Yeah. Really unfortunate. Robin went out of their way to get red goose, and would have been potentially a lot better for them. Again, to chuck the bottles in the fountain, maybe get some green goo, or to purchase blue goo from the potion shop.
Yeah.
And Robin clearly getting frustrated with the I think they're floor masters.
Yeah, floor master.
But really not having too many other options available to them. Least of all, you know, routing efficient options at this point.
Yeah. It's gonna go opt into killing off the Gibdos, but you don't want to use the hammer in that location because the hammer hitbox is so wonky at times.
Yeah.
Don't know why he's going out though after he's died. Oh, sorry.
So charge being certainly some nice safety for Mesyr here. Robin is almost done filling up that magic.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's the big key for Mesyr, so, you know, if there's still an item in play in the big chest, you're either going to orphan that, or you're going to spend a lot of time going back for it.
It is a good question. That is kinda sucks for Robin.
And Robin, unfortunately, getting about the worst luck ever. The Gibdos dropped a full magic pot, so all that farming just to see that is pretty disheartening.
It certainly is.
And that Gibdo, unfortunately, is always going to drop a key, so not going to get any help on the refill there.
Yeah. The only thing he could have opted to get in that room would have been another heart, but yeah.
And Robin is now out of magic. So
He does have hasn't played a Master Sword Spins, has a Goose, so if push comes to shove, he have a lot of ways to stay on that.
Mesyr, meanwhile, slash spamming the cream puffs on Argus.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here, if you've ever played A Link to the Past, then you know that the real boss of Skullwoods is not Mothula, it's the conveyor belt.
Yeah. They must have put in the spicy conveyor belt because of this Antifight is like, this is so easy.
Mesyr picking up a flute for their trouble. That's an interesting find. That puts a lot of Meyer stuff and Lower Norfair into logic now.
That is certainly interesting to find that one there. Yeah, Mesyr is gonna go ahead and take Bombo's tablet.
Yeah. I think this is a pretty good heads-up play on Mesyr's part, right? Because now you've got the flute. Even if you do eventually end up checking purple chests, which, you know, that's kind of up to how they want to route their stuff, you can do that with the flute if you take care of this and not have to worry about carrying your Dark World portal with you.
Yeah.
And Robin gonna find out whether that cape meant anything. It unfortunately is just a luxury item here, or utility item. And the murder dactyls coming after him.
He's gonna opt for Graveyard Ledge instead. He might go further and go over to the Catfish after this.
Yeah, I think the best thing that could happen to Robin now is, I mean, there's still plenty of stuff to go, but when they do make it over to Pod, getting a mirror going and checking Sahash while they're there would be a pretty good route correction.
Yeah.
I think Mesyr is going to get butter here from Woody Harrelson.
Nope, that is bacon.
Bacon, that's what it is.
We do need butter for the pig dough, so... Because you always want to have butter with pigs. Yeah, Robin now going to Hera and to East F Mountain. Not gonna find anything particular this way though, which is a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, just a missile pack from the Smiths today. But yeah, it was hammer time for Mesyr, and that gave him just a piece of... Yeah, it's true. Right now, Smithson is out loading for Mesyr. However, it does feel like that he's just here. Why not just check this? You can still keep in mind that they are out loading for you. If you go too deep out loading, then it could be a little bit ugly. but as long as he keeps in mind of, yeah, this is our logic still, it should be fine.
Yeah, and let's hope that Mesyr decides to activate the flute here pretty quickly as well. Robin going for the bomb jump and gets it nicely. That's a rough one if you miss it, so Robin certainly comfortable in their bomb jumping technique. Pays off well.
Yep. Equipping the mirror here, Mesyr might only take the first 4 chests in Shield Town.
That's definitely what I would do for a pendant that isn't green for Thieves Town. Heck, I might do it even if it is a green pendant.
I would say it would make sense if he do it now, because he's probably gonna have to skull woods after this, and he has mirror, he has book, he can easily check the pedestal while he's after done muffler. So I would argue for doing Shield Town while complete when you're here.
I think Mesyr's making the right play by skipping purple chest for now. At the very least, until you activate your flute. And looks like Mesyr is going to do a full dive of Thieves Town. Definitely doesn't want to leave anything behind.
Yeah, he's gonna feel a lot behind right now because of that last location of the Moon Pearl. So just checking everything, not leaving behind any more risks. I can kind of understand that.
Yep, and Robin also not wanting to leave anything behind is going to go check the basement immediately for the, I believe, second missile pack in Tower Terra. And Tiles being jerks to Robin. You could even call them pro-jerk Tiles. Yeah, I don't know what's early, guys. That's the best I got. That's a good point, Ginception. Hopefully having the green pendant will make heading to Eastern Light World a more attractive play for Mesyr now.
He is probably gonna shake all of Eastern Mountain first, but yeah, after that we're probably gonna see him head over there.
Although I'm looking at Mesyr's item set, I'm wondering what good Varia really does for Robin at this point. I mean, the Titan's mids are still speed booster locks, so actually not getting Varia might be a blessing in disguise for Robin here.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, we might have missed that. That was the mushroom on floating. So we will have our fake powder.
Or our real powder. Somebody has... oh, I think it's Robin that has the powder. They got it from... is it Main Street? I think that's what the room is called.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, plus it could be nothing, you know, the mushroom turning could be nothing. We'll find out, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a blue boomerang in the big set of Shield Town.
Yeah, I think my money right now is on Mesyr and the surrounding checks. You know, you got that flute that is pretty deep in logic right now. You've got a hook shot to clear Meyer. You've got 2 out of 3 of your medallions. Yeah, that's my guess for the next place that we're gonna find some big kind of progression.
That would be locked or logic at the moment, though.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
I'm putting my money on Bob at the moment. That is not gonna be bow locked, and that is gonna be open.
Yuck. Yeah, sorry, I think I'm one step ahead of you there, because we know that with the exception of Rex Ship Reserve, Speed Boosters... Oh, I guess we also don't know Shaft Supers. I don't think either of our runners have checked that. But barring anything there, they could get by without having to get the Speed Booster at all. The foul is a foul, everyone.
I was a foul and a goose is loose.
And looking like Robin is going to check combos as well here. And despite that good early routing, really spinning their tires here, I think they still have been relatively idle with the exception of finding that book and that mirror. Righto, I forgot Waterway too. That's another check that we don't really know.
Yeah. And Mesyr working out mine and over the catfish and then down to the pyramid.
Honestly, not sure we've seen either of these checks yet. We might have, and I just missed it.
And we have not didn't see Robin head over to this area yet, so they are most likely something over here. These enemies are not nice to Robin.
Looking like Robin may be heading over to finish Dragon.
Yeah, certainly looks like it. But today, our friendly neighborhood cafes has... Yes, a piece of heart.
And Robin very narrowly escaping certain death there. That would have been pretty debilitating to have taken a death there.
Mesyr's gonna head over and check the dark east Death Mountain.
Yep, it is looking increasingly likely that Pod has the speed booster that unlocks the next bit of progression.
Yeah. But as you know, Turlock tends to always have the bow, so
Gross.
yeah. It has come to a point where we say French vanilla bow in TR, so I'm not surprised to see him going here, even if it is not in logic yet. I think the best thing for Mesyr right now would be that it's Ether to open the TR.
Yeah, I have to agree. Definitely don't want Mesyr heading towards Turtle Rock right now. But Hookshot Cave is pretty tempting. And it's Quake.
And we have had that for a long, long time.
Mesyr finding their grapple beam. Gonna have an automatically easier time killing Dragot.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, the only real prize for Hookshot Cave is going to be this mushroom, and even that's not a really great prize either, unless it's got something at the magic shop.
Yeah, nice dragon fight for Robin. Let's see what he left behind earlier. I think one good thing if Robin finds here would be the bow.
Ugh, no dice.
I think that is our 4th bottle, actually.
Yeah, we had one at Old Man Under the Bridge, we had one at Uncle. I think there was one in Upper Norfair, and now one at Dragon.
But at least we can have a lot of defensives. I think the main reason why Robin decided to go head back in now was because of those can flies.
And Robin opting for a gravity jump in the end anyway. And there is our 4th sword off of the mushroom. Especially, yeah.
Well, you want to have some bother with your mushroom. I don't know what you are.
I don't know though. You know, you don't really gain that much from Butter Sword over Tempered. And now you've locked yourself out of potentially checking Magic Bat early. I think I would have checked that first before heading to the Magic Shop.
Yeah.
Is IBJ normal logic for wreck ship access? It is not. Or wait, yeah, it is. Sorry. Diagonal bomb jump, no. But with the gravity suit, IBJ into it is, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we are probably gonna see Robin opt into wreck ship now.
Alright, so this is Sinus's tip of the day for you folks. Both our runners have opted to fall into the hole in Skullwoods here, and they both could have opted for some slightly better routing here that would have let them skip this next room, which is the room of requirement. So what you want to do, especially if you've got the Fire Rod and the Cane of Samaria, is you want to go directly to the to the connector for Skullwoods, going towards the end, right? So you take your cane, you check that middle chest, and you pick up the key on your way through, and you're guaranteed access to be able to get to Mothula with that key. You go, you knock out Mothula, and you potentially are coming back to the front at the end with your big key, or maybe having both of your items by then and never even having to go into the front. So that will always allow you to skip the room of requirement. Always.
Yeah. Don't be a dingus, do that route instead.
Robin giving us our first look at criteria power bombs. Which has been in Logic for quite a while at this point. And it's just a reserve tank.
I think that is our third reserve tank.
It's definitely at least 2 or 3.
The reason why I'm mentioning it is because of that update that reserve tank is not considered a trash item anymore. I'm just gonna go and get myself some more water.
Cheers. So, let's find out where Robin is going to head with this. It does look like they're making the wrecked ship play at this point. Meanwhile, Mesyr taking an intentional death to get a little bit of a refill here before moving on to Mothula. And Robin going to find their hookshot here. We'll see if they decide to do a full dive of wrecked ship or not. And Robin looked like they were setting up like a CWJ and eventually says, heck it, I really just want that hookshot immediately, and swims right on over to it. Having a little bit of trouble getting their IBJ started, but now looks to be on a good pace here. And Mesyr gonna have no trouble getting through the Gibdos with the Butter Sword and the Fire Rod.
Yeah. And there is Base Jump. That is an irritating location for that.
Somewhat curious that Mesyr has decided not to take the key off that Gibdo. But again, routing it the way they did, perhaps they know that they're not going to need that key for anything.
Yeah, the front is already checked for him, so why would he want another key? Wouldn't it be nice to have spikes that you can just turn off with electricity so they won't to...
Yep. Mega Man could learn a lot from Samus.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the second crystal for Mesyr. Okay, it's time for the Ghost of Argus. And we're also gonna get the pet check at the same time. What? Nothing there?
Just couch cash.
Yeah. And Mesyr is gonna go into Ice Palace.
And almost 2 hours in, Robin has a one boss in Super Metroid lead, and Mesyr has a crystal lead, although certainly more dungeons done and complete in A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Still too early to tell. I think Robin might have been able to finish with a super there, but
It's something to play safe. It's fine. Yeah, you don't want an enrage phase against August.
and looking like Mesyr is going to be opting for some old school routing through Ice Palace. No icebreaker today.
Aww. There we go. The ghost of August has been vanquished. And I can also understand, as is being pointed out in the chat, Ice Palace does give us Pyramid Fairy, so I can kind of see what Mesyr is doing.
And gold taking care of Pen Gators quite well. Silver for Lycanthropes, gold for Pen Gators.
Yeah.
And Robin's pretty much a critical mass here on energy tanks that got everything they could need for a stand-up glitch at this point.
Yeah.
And Robin gonna opt to set up a save scum here. With Gravity Suit, there's almost no time difference for just going straight through and checking it immediately. But without Gravity Suit, that save scum is arguably a reasonable play.
Yeah, it is. Plus, he also has Space Jump, which is also gonna make this even quicker. Yeah, as we are quickly approaching the 2-hour mark, make sure to give Mesyr and Robin a follow as he finds Springboard. And also make sure to give our tracker today, Forrest, a really big follow as well. He's making this seems much easier for us. And also give a follow to my co-commentator in Sinnes.
And that ceiling clip through Wreck Ship is a really quick and easy one to learn. All you have to do is get it set up kind of like Robin did there, right? Where you've got a 2-tile gap in the upper section of it. You do a spin jump while holding an angle button as you fit into the gap, and it will move Samus the Sprite into destructible blocks a little bit, and then all you do is hold up and jump, and you're through. It's a very quick trick to learn.
Yeah, it is.
Robin gonna see if anything's stored in the attic here. Only gonna find some change somebody left behind though.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin is gonna check missiles in the sky first. It's gonna be a piece of heart. Surprised that he didn't went ahead and check what the speed booster would have unlocked for him here.
Well, they reset their spring ball, so you know it's gonna be more difficult to check than it needs to be. I mean,
Yeah.
doing these 4-tile mid-air morphs is kind of dumb. Like it's not dumb as in a routing perspective. Like it's a silly trick to have to do to get through here. It would be much faster to wall jump on the other side here and you know, drop a power bomb or whatever, rather than coming through it and bothering with all of this in both directions.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just orphaning a piece of heart there.
Yeah.
Although looking much stronger going backwards, just doing mid-air morphs.
Yes, just doing it backwards has a bit of a meme, you know.
So we've got Bowling Alley and Gravity Suit left in Wreck Ship. I've not really found anything that leads us to anything new here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
We did find a space jump, so we could go the back way to Golden Tree Zone.
oh yeah, there's one potential item unlocked by the space jump there, but pretty unlikely that that's going to be a deciding factor in this race at this point. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, please quote me on my choice of word there.
And Mesyr wanting to extend their Link to the Past lead. Meanwhile, Robin also extending their SM lead.
Yeah.
Still pretty close overall.
Yeah, it is. So Robin gonna check the Mario area, might check behind Golden Tree Zone.
Yeah, and looking like Space Jump and Spring Ball was it in Wreck Ship. Bombos, openable Meyer. I'm still betting big on this Meyer play with the flute being where it was.
Yeah, but we still have the problem with the titles.
I just mean, I'm thinking Bow or Boots could potentially be here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mesyr gonna delete some blocks on their way to pick up those super missiles. This is also a deceptively easy trick to learn. At any time you're pushing a block, if you mash your mirror, you'll just delete them. I don't know precisely how it works, but it does. And once you learn it, you'll never go back to playing it the same way ever again. Super easy trick to learn. we're pretty sure that
Our tracker reminds us that we could potentially find speed booster in here, which would be pretty fun.
yeah, now with the space jump where it is, or where it was, that with both suits, that is lower Norfair access available. So this is all in logic now. Let's see, speed in lower Norfair or pod. It seems more likely that it would be in pod at this point, although it's not out of the question that it could be in lower Norfair. Mesyr did not skip Spring Ball. They have not been to Wreck Ship yet. And Robin now going to correctly take that hookshot into Swamp Palace and be rewarded with a flute.
Yeah.
Eventually.
It would not unlock anything for him though, because he did not sequence break that time and speed, so
Yep.
we might just see Robin going over getting Vega suit and then going the other way to Golden Tree, so.
Mesyr finding their first item in Misery Mire of 2, pack of super missiles, hoping to find the big key and the other item relatively quickly.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Senpai.
Varia was at Uncle Sash's closet along with the wave beam.
Imagine going 2 hours without checking that location.
Well, I mean, I think at this point, if you're Robin, you're really hoping to find the bow, right? And so you take the bow to Pod and Eastern with the mirror and get all of those done at once. There's a second item for Mesyr. No dice in Mire right now.
Yeah.
And I don't believe they've picked up the big key yet, but they're gonna try and see if they get lucky and find it here and not have to do the rest of the dungeon. Unfortunately, just a small key.
I think it's also that Mesyr doesn't have a lot of magic, so I was hoping that it was out here instead. And we're gonna check the other location first.
There's a large doer of magic right before you go up to do the torch room cutscene.
Yeah, that's it. Well, big key in this vanilla location.
Robin is going to do the back of Swamp first, unlike Mesyr. So we may get to see what the big chest item is here in Swamp.
Yeah.
If it is an item. Again, I know we've seen the compass, but I don't know if we've seen the map on Robin's side yet.
We have seen it on Mesyr's side. Stopping and counting his items real quick to make sure that he didn't miss anything by skipping. have the items that could help a lot of these. If he had stuff like cape, he could have just gone upwards, activate cape, and then slash all he can. Or if he had cape and boost, he could just break through all the AIs. If he had silvers, he could just shoot the AIs. There's so many ways we can fight this boss. Unfortunately, Mesyr doesn't have an option to any of them.
Yeah. The other thing Mesyr seems to be pretty conscious of is that they are still only wearing green mail, and so taking damage from these eyeballs or vitreous is pretty perilous, despite having a really strong weaponry and options to them.
Yeah, they are a bit of a glass canvas at the moment.
And Robin's gonna opt to check this, and it is the map in the middle. So, Mesyr making a good call when they did not to bother checking the big chest, had found all of their items for Skull Woods, and at least got to skip one check there without going back in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time to check behind Golden Tree, so
that's another crystal down. And unfortunately, probably not going to see too many other crystals until we pick up either a bow or the boots.
Yeah.
And that appears to be pretty much all the more we need for go mode.
There's speed booster, so does he expect you to go through the area to get here? So that is
And Mesyr here is going to opt for super missiles against Golden Chorizo. Gonna have to farm up a couple more, that's not that big a deal. Although you do definitely want to be in a standing position whenever you are firing super missiles upwards into GT. You do want to be kneeling if you are using charge plasma strats.
yeah. But at least Mesyr is in logic now, so that's good.
I mean, kind of, right? So there's still a missing link for Mesyr here, which is actually this base jump? Or I guess not, you can technically IBJ with Varia and Gravity to get to lower warfare. That's pretty gross.
Yeah. Well, speed jump is in logic as well, underneath Ring Ship in the waters here. So.
Right. But I think that's the only piece of hidden information from Mesyr right now.
Yeah.
And Robin heading over to East Dark World. Are we finally going to see a sash check?
We might finally do.
Oh, there's the mirror. I think it's gonna happen. And unfortunately, I'm gonna get a little mirror bonk there.
Yeah.
Turning in that green pendant. And now going to get the Sphere Zero news.
The silent stare.
Just gonna stare into that for a minute and Yep.
plasma. So yeah, I can see Mesyr be able to do the microwave.
Yep. And I do believe that is a full bean combo for Mesyr, so going to make stand-up glitch a very attractive option for Mother Brain.
Yeah. Interesting hitboxes these pyres have when you freeze them and stand on top of them.
And oh no, the first thing Robin is going to do is check Ice Beam and find the mitts with that various suit.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's good for you, to be honest.
Yeah, it is, but it probably poses more questions than it answers for Robin at this point in the scene.
Yeah, he might be doing other stuff than what he really needed to do.
And I think Mesyr's in a pretty good position overall here. We will see what else is available in Lower Norfair. I think if Mesyr finds the bow here, that is a very optimal situation, and potentially gives Mesyr the option to just go mode Wreck Ship and Meridia.
Yeah, we are already seeing Mesyr whipping out that microwave. It's time for the Ridley fight for Mesyr.
And Robin, unfortunately, looking like they're going to be doing Bubble Mount. With Space Jump and Gravity and Varia, I think you have to at least entertain the possibility of going down to do Croc and then routing Lower Norfair first, which it turns out would have been very, very good for Robin in this case, but not going to pan out that way.
Yeah. There we go, Ridley is down. And his reward is some high roll currency. Wonderful.
Alright, while Mesyr retraces their steps back up into some other parts of Lower Norfair with checks, and Robin is doing things we've already seen, I'd like to plug our sponsor one more time. Rank1.global has provided prizes for the top 4 places in this tournament, so thank you very much to them. Rank 1 is a gaming social media website where you can find other tournaments like this one, as well as profiles on the runner.
Yeah. And remember, guys, these two runners are playing in an elimination game, so whoever loses today is gonna be eliminated from the tournament. The other one is gonna go up against another elimination game to get out of groups. But if they would win that one, that would mean that they have made it through to playoffs.
They would have to win 2 in order to do that, I think.
Ah, okay. So we're gonna see fireflies from Mesyr. A nice little damage boost from the firefly there.
And Robin trying to find their way down to either Croc or Lower Norfair here. I'm not sure which one they're going for yet. Looks like Lower Norfair, so this is good for Robin.
Yeah. It seems like he's playing more around the fact that Titan Smith is out of logic, and it would be pointing this direction. Just another missile pack over there.
Yep, and I think that's the last real item available to Mesyr in Lower Norfair. So, unfortunately, not gonna find anything other than Speed Booster there. So, piecing together the logic without really getting any new progression is pretty unfortunate. But
Yeah.
still, Ridley's out of the way at least.
And that is a nice thing.
Yep, so it definitely now seems like maybe Bo and Pod, or Boots and Pod.
Boots and Pod leading to Bow in Desert.
And we do have Turtle Rock and Logic. I guess it is. It's been on the table, and it is now fully in Logic for both of our runners as I speak.
Yeah. There you go, Golden Tree, so defeated by Robin as well.
And unfortunately, it is looking like Mesyr is going to go for the Meridia play here, and so that is going to stall them out for a little bit longer. So Mesyr is going to have some better movement options in through Meridia here that is going to allow them to at least waste a little less time in Meridia than Robin did early on.
One thing that Robin didn't check though, that was the plasma.
I'm trying to think if we... Oh yeah, with Plasma Beam, we definitely have a way in logic to check it. And I think when Robin went through... I can't remember if they had Charge Beam or not, but that would have been a possibility.
Yeah.
And Mesyr's also got the Grapple Beam, but unfortunately no Space Jump and no High Jump boots. So it would be pretty tricky to check Shack Tool.
I would have to rely on some more ice clips.
Better that than trying to gravity jump up through that one block space, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, it would.
And Robin heading towards their Plasma Beam now.
Yeah. And there we have Plasma Beam yet again in Mickey Mouse room.
And unfortunately, that space jumping is going to fail Robin there in the Rising Acid room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think at this point, you know, we're going to see Mesyr go and do all of Meridia, possibly full clear wreck ship as well. But really what we want them to do then is be checking Turtle Rock or Pod. And I think best case scenario is you find Bo or Boots in Pod, particularly Bo. But it seems almost as likely that you'll find progression in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it seems very likely for that, yeah.
Yeah, but I think from a routing perspective, you gotta do the pod check first, just in case you get bailed out and get to skip Turtle Rock entirely, although that's not looking likely at this point. I'm a little concerned about Robin's health situation here. They do have an option to farm up before Ridley, but that's going to cost them some more time to do so.
Yeah, it would.
Get a microwave Batoon. That'll be nice and quick. And looks like they were just one hit short, but gets it handily.
Yeah.
Mesyr are gonna pick up their powder, which actually unlocks the magic bat check for them. Which I don't think we've seen from either runner.
We have seen it from Robin.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, ready. Are you ready for your second beatdown?
And that's a dead Ridley as Mesyr heads into their Dragon fight.
Yeah, one boss after another.
Mesyr looks like they're setting up for another microwave kill.
And with the health he has, he doesn't want to stay here for long. Because stay here for long, he could take a lot of unnecessary damage. And he's not that high on health, so...
So one thing that Mesyr is doing here is they're kneeling during their microwave beam, and because of the way the grapple beam kill works on Dragon, Samus has to be in a standing position whenever Dragon dies. And so what ends up happening is if you use a microwave strategy, you can tell when she's dead by if you execute the microwave while kneeling, she will stand up whenever Dragon is dead. And so you know when your fish is done. It's kind of like that little pop-out thing on the turkey, you know when it's done.
Yeah, you're gonna see the gravity jump for Mesyr to get out of here.
They do have the IBJ available to them, but it would be faster probably to gravity jump. Although this gravity jump is a little bit on the tight side without high jump boots. You have to get a pretty good, a pretty well-timed jump.
Yeah. And you need to be a little bit more to the left.
Another option to get out of here available to Mesyr is a 2-tap short charge, which they do not appear to be opting for. Yeah, I think, you get enough height on your gravity jump here with the spin jump. You hit start on your way up and, oh, there's a good one. You put the gravity suit back on in case you need to wall jump. But Mesyr has escaped. And Robin going to decide to kill the 3 musketeers here. I think that this might be a wise decision, given that they only had 1 full E-tank when they started, and those red key hunters, they can hurt a lot.
They really can.
And I can't remember if Mesyr has checked the sand pits yet, but I would wager that they haven't, and that they are likely planning on routing that in right now along with Shacktool and Plasma.
Yeah.
Although I'm a little surprised that Mesyr has opted not to save here first. Maybe they did check them and just know that it's Cape and they're gonna pick it up on their way by.
It's opting to pick it up though. It is a pretty nice defensive item to have if during the Ganon fight and also in Tile Room. So,
They don't have half magic, which kind of stinks, but they do have 4 bottles, so they can still definitely take pretty good advantage of the cape. And looking like Mesyr is going to, or they were going to peace out, but now perhaps heading back to Plasma. And or Shactul. And Robin has opted to head back to A Link to the Past now. Still a couple of options here, now that those Titansmiths are in logic for Robin, probably thinking some of those little fetch quests in Village of Outcasts, as well as Mesyr.
Yeah.
And there's a tunic upgrade. That's kind of a tough call for Mesyr here. You know, whether you want to save scum that or not. But I guess since there's no save scum set up, they were always planning on down here.
Yeah.
Now Robin is unfortunately also going to find no help in Mesyr Shed.
Yeah, nothing over here in this location. But it is a crystal, so why not? We're gonna see Mesyr do the back way to get to Vexship.
This is an interesting play. Personally don't care for Forgotten Highway, but this is a reasonable routing option to help them save time. Although, I still think it might be faster to have potentially save scummed at the Dragon save point, right? So then you go and you check, and if you get nothing, you go to Dark Ice Rod Cave in A Link to the Past and reset to the ship. But without the information about Bumper Cave, I think Mesyr is making a smart play here.
Yeah.
Robin is stocking up for an apocalypse with all the blue potions.
Yeah, certainly. Has a lot of bosses to kill, so why not?
Slightly lesser known fact, these spikes are also off as well whenever you come into the unpowered wreck ship. But you don't normally get to see that unless you take Forgotten Highway, because that door closes gray behind you.
Yeah.
So I really think the only checks we haven't seen at this point are purple chest. I don't think anyone has done yet, and then pod and turtle rock.
That is correct.
Mesyr going to microwave Fantoon here as well. And Fantoon is kind of a weird case whenever you microwave them. It's, you can only do it if you've already hit Fantoon with missiles beforehand. If you just try to lead off with a microwave beam, if you hit him with charged plasma, he just immediately goes back to his like ethereal state. So you gotta hit him with missiles, then charge up your charged plasma and microwave. But still, microwave Fantoon is a very, very quick way to get through that fight.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing about this routing for Mesyr is I'm pretty sure the last item they're going to pick up is Space Jump, and so they're going to have a slightly more difficult time getting up to the missiles in the sky location than Robin did. Although the speed boosters
does have speed, speed booster, yeah.
So as long as you know where to stand for that, that's not too bad, but can be annoying.
Yeah, and if you don't, it's very easy to just jump up and say, oh, I need to move a little bit more to the right, or oh, I need to move a little bit more to the left.
Yeah, I mean, scouting the item with Speed Booster is easy. Actually getting the item can be a whole other thing. It's more precise than it looks that way.
Yeah.
Robin is going to immediately opt for the cutscene chest, which is going to pay dividends because of the vanilla big key location.
Yeah, and he has already found both of the items, so yeah, this is really nice for him.
And I think Mesyr did not set up the save scum, realizing that with Gravity Suit it's going to be pretty quick, and is going to hang on to that spring ball.
Yeah. But yeah, Robin now going to the dark basements, while Mesyr is doing the Arctic of the adventure. So yeah, it's gonna be to see who finds the progression next.
Yeah, I think with Mesyr's item set here, that having just picked up that cape, and without certainty that there is progression in pod, right, and Turtle Rock being a pendant, I think Mesyr's going to clean up all of their overworld checks before diving either of those dungeons. So my guess is Mesyr's going to be looking at purple chest and a couple odds and ends that they haven't looked at yet as soon as they're done with the Rick ship.
Yeah, I can see that.
Robin also going to be doing a green male vitreous here is going to have to be careful. Those eyeballs are doing 4 hearts of damage. If you get doubled up, you are in a bad way.
Robin taking a lot of damage. He's gonna have to use one of the blueberry soups to get through this.
Actually, I had to use 2 so far, but money not really appearing to be an issue for either runner at this point in the season.
Robin can't throw away too much though. He still has not opened pods, so should be a little bit careful.
Oh hey, there are 2 other checks that we haven't looked at yet, which I think it would actually be best for Mesyr to do right now, which is Shaft Supers and Waterway, and route that into Mother Brain.
Yeah, I can see that. At the same time, we are gonna see Robin sticking out the dark east step mountain. Ooh, another dead rock incident. Oh, this is truly a death mountain today.
Where are you going, Mesyr? Oh, X-ray hasn't been checked, I don't think.
Yeah, it hasn't. So yeah, I'm doing X-ray into waterway. Yeah, I can see it.
Robin, unfortunately, doesn't quite get that hook shot clip. Gonna have to go the long way around.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. And from X-ray today we have red mail.
And Mesyr with the spring ball is gonna go ahead and gobble that up, and you know, just not too much time wasted to get out of X-ray room when you do have a spring ball available to you.
Yeah. Mushroom is gonna be picked up by Robin. We see might exchange later for butter.
And Mesyr are going to give us our first look at Waterway. I think it's... Well, I mean, it's getting increasingly more likely that we'll see something here, but with the gloves already locked behind Speed Booster, it seems slightly less likely that Speed Booster would harbor another item.
Yeah.
And Robin is doing the Turtle Rock play. It's interesting. It's definitely...
When it comes to Ice Palace, you don't really want to do it. You want to just be able to go mode it. So, in that perspective, sure, why not?
I mean, I get it, I do, but I would never put a pendant before a crystal dungeon. I mean, unless you're feeling really behind, think that that's going to be the answer to your problems.
Yeah.
But, well, we'll see. And I think Robin has the same kind of thought. Maybe just forgot that Turtle Rock was, in fact, a pendant when they opened it, and rethought that. Kinda on the fly. And Mesyr are gonna go ahead and check Shaft Supers here. Our last Super Metroid check.
Yeah.
Although Mesyr may still have criteria power bombs to do. I can't remember if they did that or not yet.
Well, it's not in Shaft Supers at least. Okay, so Robin just opened the yard and went over to Ice Palace. Alright. We're not gonna see Mesyr going into Mother Bay though. Oh, might just be filling up some supers.
And looking like Robin is also going to opt for bomb jump strategies here. Similarly, not familiar with the icebreaker strategy. Although, to be fair, I'm not really... I should learn that before my race tomorrow.
Yeah, Icebreaker is still a fairly new strat, so seeing people who doesn't know how to do it yet is not a surprise, but look at the bomb count of Robin. He doesn't have the bombs to do the bomb jump.
Oh no.
Well, he has Ready Cane, so it's fine, but it's gonna be a little bit more awkward routing it. Or that could happen.
That's gotta be incredibly frustrating for Robin.
Yeah, that's gonna force him to leave to get new bombs.
Fortunately, there's some right at the shop in Light World. And looking like Mesyr is gonna go check the Bumper Ledge and Graveyard Ledge first. Ah, yes, Mesyr hasn't done Magic Bat yet because they turned in their mushroom to the potion shop early on and is now returning with powder to take a look at this. Oh no, one of the Stalfos dropping 4 bombs just did not give Robin the RNG that they needed in their last trip into ice. Meanwhile, Mesyr is taking the lunchbox to the specialist here. And Ether, a totally worthless medallion.
Yeah. So, Pod or the Turtle Rock, what do you fancy?
I think you gotta go with the pod play here. Like, it's just, again, it's the argument we made earlier, which is, you know, if pod bails you out with the bow and the shoes, then you don't have to dip Turtle Rock at all.
Yeah, I would assume so, but we are gonna see Pyramid Fairy from
That's
Mesyr
right.
first.
This has been available to Mesyr for quite a while now. And, obviously, could be the bow or the boots, or both.
So, missile pack and another missile pack.
Yikes. That is disappointing.
That is very disappointing. Just so, also just a red rupee from the pyramid, so yeah, nothing really here. So off the button, because Mesyr has already saved the friendly neighborhood, the cat. It's kinda off to flute there.
Maybe
just-
debating Turtle Rock. Oh, no.
No.
Oh man.
Alright, let's see if
Well.
this gamble pays.
I hope it pays off for you, Mesyr.
Oh, it might be thinking spiking.
Maybe.
Mesyr did pick up that cape earlier, so it could have argued for spiking.
I think this is leaving the door open for Robin to catch up. This is exactly what Robin needs.
Yeah. Taking a nasty hit from the top player. But yeah, they are tied up on the crystal count now.
Are they? I think
Didn't
Mesyr's
Robin
got a
finish
Meyer.
Meyer?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He doesn't have that crystal. No, wait, he has. I'm counting badly. Yes, it's, he has finished Meyer. Yeah, he's also gonna do the Pyramid Fairy. But look at that, we are at the 3 hour mark.
And here we go. It's time for the Turtle Rock Dive.
Well, we're starting off with the red boomerang.
So since Mesyr is not in go mode, it stands to reason that they're gonna full clear Turtle Rock here. Unless, you know, Trinex has like a dungeon item, then there's really no reason to continue since Pedestal is out.
Yeah. Big key and a small key. Okay.
Is there anything left in SM? There is for Robin, but Mesyr, I do believe, has full cleared everything except Shack Tool, I believe.
Yeah, Factor is the only thing left, but according to our tracker, that is not in logic.
It should be with the space jump at this point.
Well, there's butter for jobben. I must have missed them picking up the grapple beam.
Yeah, Mesyr definitely has it. It was at Hookshot Cave, I believe. But with Microwave available, there really wasn't any need for it anywhere else in the scene.
Ah, okay. You did see Mesyr do Waterway. Yeah, Mesyr only has Shackle left. That's the only thing left is Metroid. And of course, finishing off money. What choice is it that Robin does now? TR or what? Or the other thing? Robin has done purple set, so that is what he's gonna do now.
And we're gonna get a peek at Mimic Cave, courtesy of Mesyr.
Yeah.
So Mesyr having some trouble luring the mimics here. There's a couple different ways you can do this, right? So you can do slashes, and while you're doing it, move them over. You can do a spin and get the same effect. And Mesyr was trying to grab the railing to get them to move over, but you have to do a double grab to get that to work.
Yeah. Well, nothing in Minicade, so we are moving on further into the rabbit hole.
Yep, certainly looking like Laser Bridge or Trinex or Pod.
Oh boy.
Or Shack Tool.
Yeah.
Please not Shack Tool. Shack Tool is literally the worst.
That would be very irritating right now because our runners are not going to be thinking about that at the moment. Well, according to the key logic, it could potentially skip Laser Bridge. That's a very nice ether you got there, Robin. Mesyr is gonna activate the safety door.
I think with red mail and butter, you're pretty reasonably safe here, but I guess there's no such thing as too safe.
The first laser skipped, and that gives us some blueberries. Tomatoes for the second one. Compass in the third. And a pot container from the fifth. Yeah, that's all the items.
Yep, map on Trinex.
And look at Rob. Look at Robin. On the way to pod.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
It's a race again, everyone. I mean, it was always a race, but now this is getting super close.
And it looks like Mesyr is gonna go to Spray Cave.
Although I think you're better off saving and quitting here.
Yeah, I agree. One of those! He's locked, but I don't think Robin is too... Well, he's mad about the fact that that is why the boost this whole time. But at least he has one thing to do. And he's gonna pay it out. And yeah, he haven't checked Eastern Palace either, so he's just gonna head in there.
Oh no, Mesyr waited a little bit too long to activate the
It's fine, has
cave there.
fast. Yeah, Yeah, there is still an item in this palace as well, so you could very well see the bow there.
I think it almost has to be there, or else Shack Tool.
Yeah, but it's not in Spike Cave, so yeah, Sack Tool or Lamolas. That is very, very irritating. So.
And Robin doing Eastern without the bow right now is letting Mesyr, leaving the door open for Mesyr to come right back.
Not blaming him though.
Oh no, of course not.
Ethan is very quick with the boost, plus if it's a French vanilla bow, then you are golden.
I don't know though. I mean, you've got desert, which you know you can full clear, and you have to anyway, versus Eastern, which you can potentially still get locked out of, and if you do, it's quite a long ways to travel all the way back around Eastern again.
Yeah.
I still think you do desert first here.
Mesyr is gonna pick up his boots in just 20 seconds.
And I do think that Mesyr has already checked Eastern, so yeah. Hopefully we won't be waiting too long to find out whether it's the boots that lock the bow or Shack Tool that locks the bow.
Yeah. But yeah, with the fact that Robin went into Eastern, the door has swung open for Mesyr again. But it's not far between them.
And Mesyr making a heads-up play here to use the flute and mirror here is going to enter through the side entrance of Desert, and oh my gosh, they are almost neck and neck here.
Robin taking the long way in though.
Yeah, and Mesyr's just going to be able to mirror back to the left side, which is exactly where they need to be whenever they are ready to kill Landmo.
Yeah. Would you argue for checking the big chest, mirror, do Lamolas? If not there, head over to the left side?
You know, I almost think that the best possible play here might have been to steal the key so that you could full clear this.
Yeah,
but,
it would have.
you know, without rediving anything.
Mesyr is gonna go to the right side. What is Robin gonna do? This could be the season of the century.
I cannot believe at 3 hours and 15-ish minutes in that we are in the exact same dungeon. Oh gosh.
It is Shack Tool.
The absolute nightmare.
And yeah, we also have Bonkrock's King's Tomb as well have opened up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And yeah, they are probably gonna do King's Tomb and Bonkrock's after this.
Yep.
No, Robin, no!
Unfortunately, not going to realize that they've got both of their items. This is a dungeon item. Letting Mesyr stretch out their lead a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be such a free Lamolas as well. Fire rod, butter, yeah, to be perfect.
You know what else we comically do not have right now is silvers.
Yeah.
We have absolutely nothing bow related.
has done its final dig, and there is the fifth crystal for Mesyr.
Hey, I've never tried shoveling in Desert Palace in the sand before. Can you do that? Does anyone know the answer to that question?
I have no idea. But yeah, I'm going to Sanctuary. Good choice from Mesyr.
Yeah, so there's a question in chat about the number of item dungeon. It is set because there's a key logic, right? You can't, we don't want you to lock yourself out. And you have to have the maps and compasses, of course.
3 hours, 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Mesyr is in go mode.
Not even gonna bother with King's Tomb. I think I would have checked it, because if it's silvers, that still saves you some time. But I guess it's more likely that it's in pod. Or GT.
Yeah. Mesyr at this point has probably feels very, very behind because of that last location, Moon Pearl, and how long it took to find boots and bow.
I don't know. First item boots in pod is almost as bad as hammer in first item swamp. Like, it's really pretty unlikely. I think a lot of people would have put that off.
Yeah. And Robin doing Kingston first. We're gonna get the confirmation here.
High jump boots. What is this seed? It's so mean.
You see this like standing in front of us. Are you amused yet?
Robin going to get their bow. And it'll just be a race to the finish from there. And Mesyr just getting shocked all the way up the hellway.
Yeah, getting shocked all the way to the other side. Almost.
I like this routing so far of pod. I'm hoping that... Oh, nope. I definitely would have hammered that and bonked to that chest, but this'll work.
It will. There's I think here, 2 keys left?
Yeah, I think there's always 4 keys in the front of pod. At least 4 keys. It escapes me how pod key logic precisely works.
Yeah, it's always 4 keys. So there is either a dungeon item, big key, or a normal item, and 1 small key left in front. Well, there's a small key, so what extra item am I gonna get? Ah, okay. Well, we are head. This is a mullet pod. You know what? We have nice and tight at the front and the pod in the.
Yeah, as Mesyr, I think you gotta check this item. first, just in case it's the big key, but you do need to remember that you need a small key in order to finish the dungeon as well.
I would have probably saved these ones first, because if he would have gotten the key down here, he knows that there has to be a small key in the harmless hellway.
But looking like big key is in the closet, in the dark room here. And we're seeing that bonk from Robin.
Yeah.
Who is going to route this slightly more efficiently. We'll see if they get to make up any time here. And Mesyr is going to opt to mirror immediately.
We have a race. What can I say?
Now, I think this race may be even closer than it actually looks. If I recall correctly, and it has been 3.5 hours almost, I think Robin started about 5 seconds later than Mesyr, at least as it appears on stream. And because we have no timer for Robin, we don't, they could actually be 5 seconds closer to each other than we're seeing right now.
Yeah, we can.
Mesyr making short work of the turtles.
The yellow beetle trolling Robin. Ja, Mesyr. Oh, that tends to happen when you're jumping into the head of boss as well, so that happens. Yeah, port beaten, only Ethan Palace left for Mesyr.
And we'll see if Robin decides to mirror immediately here. Robin's just gonna walk back to Mesyr King. I don't think they're gonna lose or gain too much time here, but still both runners making the same decision to skip out on the last 2 chests in pod.
Yeah. Oh, Mercanist, I am absolutely ready for that message. Don't you agree, Sinas?
I don't know. I don't know if my heart can take it. It's been such a rough scene for these guys.
Yeah. It would be funny if there was a fact that the bow would have been progressive as it is in A Link to the Past, and instead that, so I was like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah. I don't think we will ever see progressive bows come to this randomizer, though. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. What is coming soon though is the Key Sanity. Which
Yeah, I'm ambivalent towards it. I really want to play Key Sanity myself, but I really don't want to get invited to play multi-world Key Sanity. I just think that would take forever.
Yeah.
Or like 6
It
ever.
could absolutely take up to 8 hours. It's gonna be funny killing Dragon and finding the DT big kid behind him. Mesyr taking a little bit of the easy here against Robin. You're not gonna reach that.
Oh, the fairy is just trolling.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, with that, it's time for the guessing game. Somewhere in GT, we have the GT big key, number 1 to 22. Well, where did we get? So, that is my guess.
I'm gonna say 3. We're gonna go with the Bob's Torch call.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm seeing 7 and it's gonna be an hope room. It's not that I tried to cover all of the bases, but after I typed each of the numbers, I saw someone else had already typed it, so I typed another.
Last chance to get your guesses in.
As soon as Mesyr enters CT, that is when we are gonna start guessing. Guesses. There you go. So, we are gonna see Hope Room being started out. Number 1 is... I think that's awesome. LED tank, so off to the left side.
Come on, Torch.
Leicester RNG.
Nailed it.
Hey!
Not only did I call the number, I called the pocket. I win. I'm the best.
You're the best around. Nothing gonna stop you now.
That's just insult to injury on the boots location.
It really is. We still have not seen Ganon's text yet though, so hold your pants. We have to see what...
And it looks to me like Mesyr is kind of choppily you know, swinging and then pressing kind of alternately, trying to manipulate these mimics. What you can do to make it a little bit easier on yourself is you can just spam sword slashes and hold the buttons to get them to go where you want.
Yeah.
And that will save you a little bit of trouble on that.
So there's one cool strat you can do here for bids, and that is immediately going up the ledge, because then you can just run across, like you see in Mesyr.
One of my favorite things to do in this section of the gauntlet is to bottle up a bee. Bee strats in these rooms are pretty good.
Yeah, that is a very funny strat, I agree.
And Mesyr getting some favorable enemy patterns and a little help from Bemos getting pushed to where they want to go. Although less help in that room.
Yeah. You had to say something, didn't you?
It's all my fault.
Yep. But it was not a did not upset the spawn, and no, nearly getting it without any fire rods or silvers. It's really hard to get 0 cycles without those.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier if you dash through the previous room, but Mesyr stopped to powder the anti-fairy there, and that changes the RNG for the Landmo fight. Whereas if you always dash through the room, you tend to get the same patterns every time in the room, and it's a little bit easier to set up.
And we are gonna see Robin doing the same route. Is he gonna be angry? And no. Well, he did kind of run into a towards in angle, so I guess that's fine. And look at this, almost the entire top of the GT difference between our two runners. And we see that Mesyr tries to find silvers.
Yeah, when when you're right there, it's like, why not?
Yeah. Time for Troll Dome 2. He's not gonna go for that dash strat, he's just gonna go for the normal slash.
Roll.
I think Robin might have hired the Troll Dome.
And we get validated with a piece of art.
Yep. And Robin is gonna cast himself some fairies just to make the gauntlet a little bit more safer. But yeah, it's time for the geometry wizard. Nice first hit there.
Mesyr not getting too favorable of a pattern here for either of these.
Yeah.
I do think that Mesyr is making it a little bit harder than they
Yeah,
do here.
right now where he's standing, it's fine if you want to. Almost misses a double there, but he goes to the irritating locations where it's be harder to get it. Sometimes it's better to just go for the singles and trying to get doubles and triples.
Well, I mean, there were two. You want to be like this, right? Where you have a clone and agonist straight line, trying to get a double that way. And that's basically the highest likelihood that you're gonna get 2 free hits.
Yeah, but if you feel these ones, it's just like just go for the single, dude. But yeah, I get 2 is completed. It's time for the pig.
Are you aching for some bacon?
Yeah, I am. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my silverware with me, but I did bring butter, so. Yeah, it's just making me hungry now. Mesyr is gonna take this easy. Does not want to take unnecessary risks, it seems like.
And unfortunately, doesn't quite get enough damage to transition to phase 3.
Yeah, Robbie did fall down, so he's gonna have to restart this. Okay, phase 3 started, but we have some fire on the ground.
And it's time to find out where silvers were.
I can imagine where a few people are right now praying it to be, including me.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
It's a bad DCDT.
Oh no!
He walked a little bit too close. Robin almost dying from the spikes and top of GT as well.
Yeah, it gets a free refill here though.
Yeah. And there is also free ferry here as well. You can mirror and get a new one if you wanted to, but Mesyr is gonna go into.
And Trolldworm continuing to troll.
I think we can assume now that Robin didn't hire Trolldworm. Okay, especially not now. Oh my god, no.
And Mesyr, you've got a blue potion. Use it or lose it. Turn on that cape.
I think Mesyr has a ferry.
Robin also going to validate us with a piece of heart. Again, without silvers, he might as well check it.
Yeah. Almost walked off the edge. Well, it's time for the pig for Robin now. Well, it's going decent at least for Mesyr this time. Mesyr picking up a little bit of tempo here. Yeah, Mesyr not failing for the same trick again. There we go. Yeah, single G in the set for Mesyr.
Unfortunately, Robin missing the torch glitch there.
Very unfortunate. That's gonna cost him a lot of magic. Will not be able to set up triples either. This is the irritating thing with missing torches. If you're gonna do spins, you're only really gonna get in one hit each time. Getting hugged has the fairy though, so it's not game over. Robin fighting hard here. Robin is getting low on health again and low on magic as well. Gonna have to be careful. Getting sniped by the fire.
Got another fairy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin only having green mail there is, I mean, I think that they made more efficient routing plays, but this is certainly proving to be a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
And without the torch glitch, this is just gonna be, yep, and without any refills, this is gonna be potentially a nightmare scenario for Robin.
Unfortunately, Mesyr was not able to do the baby skip. He's gonna have to basically just go in and heal up.
And oh wow, Robin just barely pulls off that Ganon kill. Staying
Yeah.
alive.
Single G's for Robin as well. You see Mesyr trying for the little skips here. Was able to get. But at the defense here, unless Mesyr dies against Motherbrain, then this would be Mesyr's game to lose here.
Yep. And even with even if they do a stand-up glitch with X-Ray, it's a pretty remote possibility that they're going to get locked into something that they can't finish.
Yeah. And Mesyr has freezed for me.
Let's see here. So what may have happened is a lot of our runners are not used to running on a 10-minute delay, and so if you discard your delay when you shut down your stream, it may not play for you correctly the rest of the way.
Let's hope Mesyr has local recording then. Otherwise, that could be.
You're not 10 minutes in the past, they're 10 minutes in the future. Time is just a construct. So at this time, I gotta make an executive call here as a commentator. So what's going on is we have a Super Metroid multi-category tournament match that is scheduled for 11 o'clock, and so we're actually going to have to finish up the stream here. The official SRL time for Mesyr was 3:52-ish in first place, but we will have to wait and see how that gets resolved. And at the time, Mesyr declared Robin forfeited from the race. So we want to make way. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for this Super Metroid multi-category tournament. I am Sinus, and I have been joined by Angles. Or is it Angels? I'm sorry if I got it wrong. And thank you to Thoron for tracking, and thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. We'll see you guys next time.
If you want to see any more SMZ3, head over to SpeedGaming 3, the Iris and the Sabin is right now playing.